Hi, welcome to Coffee with Curare, a place to be to find the best physician and advanced practitioner jobs. I'm Josh Thurston, the Director of Locums Recruiting here. This is Vincent Fromm, our lead recruiter in the Locums department. And today we want to talk about change it up a little bit, not just talk about jobs, but what we're going to do is talk about what we call LFL. It's a nice little acronym we use for Locums for Life, or Locums for Lifestyle, as we like to call it, because it is so much fun in our department and working with a lot of these providers. Going to kind of start off with some of the mythbusters, if you will, some of the misconceptions that we see in the industry, things that we hear from clients, and why would we ever use a locums, or even from those locums providers. So Benson's been working on that a lot. He's kind of the front man on a lot of our searches and leads the way. So Benson, what have you heard for some of these?
Well, yeah, unfortunately, Josh, there's a lot of misnomers out there about locums. Continuity of care is one of them. Locums providers are too expensive, and a big question that comes up is what if a locums provider doesn't stay after the assignment?
Sure.
Let me address continuity of care. A lot of the specialties we work with are emergency medicine and hospitalist.
Right.
So typical hospital stay is about 3 to 5 days, and the hospitalist typically works 7 on, 7 off schedule. So there's a good possibility that through a patient's duration of their stay, they're going to be dealing with the same provider.
Right.
Now with emergency medicine, unless you're going to the ER every day, continuity of care is not an issue.
Yes, it does seem like not an
Yeah,
issue.
I mean the big thing is making sure you have the best trained and most qualified physician that can deal with a high acuity situation.
Right.
So, and we're in it for the long haul. So, with other specialties, laborist, GI, maybe family practice, we may have a candidate that only works 5 or 6 days a month, but it's consistent. So if a returning patient, is scheduled for a month or 2 down the road, they'd like to see the same provider, and they're going to be available.
Talking about like long-term locums assignments and things like that, or should we say ongoing? It's not necessarily full-time Monday to Friday, but they are there on a regular scheduled basis. It's just a matter of catching that doctor at that time.
Exactly,
So.
and everybody's locums needs are different. Hey, maybe we need 1 weekend a month, maybe we need 1 week a month, maybe every other Tuesday. So we try to work with people's schedules and make sure.
So it sounds like that continuity of care side of it, as we're saying, is a bit of a myth. I mean, it is. Obviously, if you're looking at family practice, of course, you bring somebody in for 3 months to cover maternity leave, and then they leave. Okay, there's going to be some of that lost, but in the end, it wasn't about that anyway. It was about your patients being seen maybe for some regular office visits, something to the effect, some of the simpler stuff, and then they're going to schedule those more important things for that provider that's coming back then off of their maternity leave.
Exactly.
So you've still maintained that.
If they are on maternity leave, typically that's 2 to 3 months, and that's that's a trimester right there. That's
sure. It's okay. You can definitely get through it, I'm sure. So, any other mythbusters you got?
This is the most frustrating one. Locums providers are too expensive. They see our bill rate, which does include malpractice, and they're like, wow, man, we're only paying our providers, this amount. But keep in mind, a provider in place, you've got salary, incentives, you may have had to pay relocation, a sign-on bonus,
of course,
and then you have to take care of their malpractice, 401k match, life, health, dental.
Yeah.
You add all that up.
Yeah.
Break it down to an hourly rate, and oftentimes locums is actually cheaper.
It's actually cheaper. I can totally see that, because I recently just kind of did some research for a family friend who, just like me, married, 3 kids, family of 5, and they wanted to start their own business, which they're going to go ahead with. And we were looking at insurance rates, and it was just amazing to me what it costs to insure just basic health insurance with a $2,500 deductible, which is a good policy right now for a family of 5. And for a year, you're talking anywhere from $17,000 to $22,000, $23,000 a year. Wow. So I've seen a lot of providers that actually have quite a few more than 2 or 3 kids. Oftentimes they've got a pretty big family, not to mention extended family, maybe living with them. I mean, there's a lot of things going on there, and these employers are not just paying for health and benefits for that doctor, but an entire family. So I can only imagine. So I agree with you, Vincent. I think that the whole idea that locums is always more expensive than an employed provider, it's just a misnomer. It's not real. It's not reality. People need to stop, take a step back, and it sounds like we need to talk to you and find out what the real numbers are. So.
Exactly. I think they just get a little scared. They see the initial number, not really thinking big picture.
Sure.
That's something I like to address.
So already we know continuity of care is a non-issue. We already know that the expense is also something that's not right. Was there anything else?
Another one that comes up, what if locums providers don't stay after their assignment?
Yeah.
You know, it depends on the assignment. You know,
Sure.
there's always the option for a provider to go perm, and that's something
Right.
we discuss with our clients. Maybe it's a maternity leave situation, so
Mhm.
they know going in they're only going to be there 2 or 3 months.
Right.
So,
Right, exactly.
you know, it's also kind of a good thing. If things don't work out, which unfortunately does happen, you know, a client has the option to say, "Hey, Josh, I don't want this guy back." You know.
Yeah.
So.
Right. And now that HR representative or the CEO is not the one bringing them in and saying, we don't need you anymore.
Exactly.
All of a sudden they've got, you know, Benson and Josh, we can handle that. We can tell that provider, hey, it's not going to work out, it's not a great fit, but we've got your back, we're looking for something else.
Okay.
At the same time, we're finding another provider for that client. So that's kind of just a barrier there between everybody, which is nice.
And it's typically not about quality of care. It's just maybe some personality.
Right, of
So,
course. I mean, what do you expect, right? Everybody's got their way of doing things. Doctor's out for a short period of time. New guy comes in, new guy comes in. It's not always going to be a perfect match, right?
So those are the big three I see. I mean, are there any that you've come across that?
You know, I mean, every once in a while we come up with something, but it's the things that I hear are typically about insurance. You know, we couldn't possibly get them insured quick enough, you know, or these kinds of things are just. We already work with 2 or 3 other locums firms. How could we possibly work with another one? You know, we work on a basis where we basically just send out a single agreement that it's a blanket agreement that says, when you tell us what specialty you need, we'll send it over to you with a bill rate, quote, and you have the option to accept or decline at that time, or to come back to us and say, we would like to accept it, but that rate's a bit high. Can you do this, you know, A or B, go down to this rate or up to that rate, whatever we can do, and we'll work with you. We'll see what we can do. So, I mean, again, I think it's more about people being open to discussion, open to, you know, kind of receiving candidates and just looking at what the possibilities are. It's oftentimes in life, I think everybody kind of walks through their day-to-day, and some people are really good at putting out fires and others are not. And the ones that are not good at putting out fires are the ones that are probably carrying a lot of stress on their shoulders. So I think in this locums world and for our clients, the facilities, they need to understand that if a problem comes up, give us a call, let us know, we'll find you a provider, or we'll fix the one that's there, or whatever we got to do, right? So
I also think there's some misconceptions on the candidate end as well. I got talking to a hospitalist yesterday. He's like, Benson, I want some work in October. Are you going to be able to get me on your malpractice insurance by then? You know, he's all worried. Josh, what's the fastest turnaround time on a malpractice?
about 18 hours.
18 hours. So it's a non-starter, guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's every case is different, but again, just ask. Just find out. Don't assume that the horror story you heard from your colleague or your employer, past employer is the case for you.
Yeah.
It just isn't true. So I'm going to move on here to some of the what makes. Why do we use the LFL? Why do we use locums, you know, for lifestyle, not only for the providers, but for us, for our department? And it is because we've seen kind of the downfall to why a lot of our clients don't want to use locums firms. It isn't they don't need the providers. They don't want to deal with the firms. They don't want to deal with us. And, well, us as a kind of a general group of people. But Benson and I really work hard here at Curare to work with our clients. We understand that at the end of the day, our clients are the people that we really have to listen to and find out. You're the ones that we're providing the service for, okay? Of course, we've got our 1099, our contractors, and we'll do everything we can to help them as well. But for you and your setting, we want to make it the right fit. And with that being said, malpractice coverage support, we help with that. We can do everything from getting the provider on our insurance. We even assist those providers in filling out their application, going over it, double checking it. We'll contact references. We'll look at privilege applications for your hospital. I know a lot of times that information can be confidential. Well, that's our department. That's what we do. We deal with confidential every single day. And as long as we can share that information, we can help push it through. So we ask that our clients and their HR department and their credentialers contact us directly. Josh, can you help us out with this? Benson, can you help us out with this? I mean, I can't tell you how many times we've filled out complete applications or just 2 or 3 lines just because we double checked it. We just saved a week turnaround time on something, okay? And we can make that happen. We just had a doctor go in. It was 10 days from the time we introduced to the time he started his first shift. We had to work hard, but we got his insurance the night before. We got it done. And we said we'd get it done, and we got it done. And it's because we got involved, you know?
Exactly, and that's the thing with having a go-between. You're talking to the hospital credentialer, the physician. Credentialer calls you, hey Josh, I need this, can you get it? Hey Josh,
yes.
I need this, can you get it? And we expedite things. I mean,
Absolutely.
literally cut off weeks.
Oh my gosh, it amazes me. When I first started this division, I thought to myself, this is going to be so much work just to get one doctor working in one assignment. And I realized very quickly that well, this is going to take a week, this is going to take 2, this is going to take 3. I just wasn't going to hear that anymore. I said, no, I'm going to try to make this be 3 days, not 3 weeks. Exactly. You tell me what needs to happen, I'm going to make it happen right now. And that's what we do. So we basically take some of those hats that those HR representatives are wearing, and we bring them over to our side of the desk and take care of it from there. How do we get people, it's a lot of the doctors want to know, how are we really helping them? Are we just plugging them into assignments, trying to get them work really quick to make a quick buck? No, we're more like a sports agent. Most of us are old enough to have seen Jerry Maguire and, show me the money, if you will. It's not all about the money, though, when it comes to the doctors. Yes, we're trying to get them as much money as we can, but at the same time, we're trying to help our clients be able to afford the coverage that they need. So we try to find that middle ground, and we represent both parties, kind of a devil's advocate, if you will, in the middle there, playing that game a little bit, and it works out really well. I think that all of our clients and our candidates so far have seen how our department's different. Even though we're a smaller firm, even though we've been around about 18 months, what I'm hearing from clients is just a lot of wows, and I can't believe how much you're helping out. And you told me you couldn't do something, but you responded to me. 10 minutes, you responded to my email. And that's something apparently other locums firms don't do. I don't get it. News is news, whether it's good or bad, and it's not going to change whether you told somebody 5 minutes after you found out or 15 minutes after you found out, or say 15 days. It's all the same. So you just got to move through all that. Anyway, it's good stuff. As far as one of the last things we always want to hit on, I said we won't really talk about jobs too much, but
we got to, guys.
We have to talk about at least a couple, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's some of the greatest things, and you hit on some of that early on when you were talking about some of the most common types of locums assignments that we see. Not that there isn't every specialty under the sun, but it's emergency medicine, and a lot of it's hospitalist and or laborist, OBGYN, hospitalist type settings. So, give me a good EM job or a laborist job. What's one that you can think of?
Currently working on a ongoing emergency medicine assignment outside of Muncie, Indiana. Low volume, low acuity, Meditech, EMR. Very, very flexible on scheduling. You do 12, 24-hour shifts, weekends, weekdays. They'll plug you in whenever. So that's one we're working on. Laborist, this is kind of an up-and-coming thing. We're trying to move into that market, not necessarily for an in-house laborist, but providing groups with call coverage. Who doesn't want to have another hand on deck, somebody picking up call coverage?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's something that we're trying to move
yeah,
into
definitely.
as well.
Yeah, it's definitely right. It's one thing I was going to point out. I think I know that job you're talking about is that the ER job we're talking about, emergency medicine job at low acuity, 11,500 visits per year. It's an acute care facility. And as far as pay rate goes on that, oftentimes those smaller facilities don't. You gotta get that again. Another misnomer. They don't pay as well. I think we're getting into the 220s and 230s on that one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
what we're paying our providers.
That's what we're paying our providers. That's not a bill rate. Yeah. So we're doing quite well with that. But anyway, it sounds like we've got a couple good jobs. We've definitely knocked out some of these myths, these misnomers we've heard in the industry, and established that if you're going to work, if you're worried about working with locums, you need to stop that right now and just contact us at Curare, physicianrecruiting.com. Give us a call, check us out online, and we'll see you next time for Coffee with Curare.